Okay, well, I swear, like, I don't know what it is, but I swear I already did Newtype Research Accelerate on Buran. Apparently I haven't. I don't understand why I have such an overwhelming perception that I did. But, you know, the Ashimar makes the most sense, but how often do I get to have fun with the Gundam ground type and my giant cannon?
Alright, launch! Don't fall behind!
God, I'm a little out of it because burnout is setting in a little bit.
Not bad, they're reacting quickly.
I mean, the projects were all coming together nicely, but because here's the thing, I never concern myself much with stuff like the video metrics and so forth, because I do this as a hobby and I do it for fun. And getting preoccupied with whatever the meta is on YouTube now was not something I saw as improving the total sum of my happiness. Nevertheless, the channel has been growing as of late, and an argument could be made for not spoiling that growth. So, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, do more of it and better. The thing is, I usually age restrict my videos at the gate, mostly because that's easier than having somebody, like, complain about it later. But apparently that's something that hurts YouTube's promotional of what you do. So does having copyright claimed items, which pops up quite frequently, even in this game, because of the music, which, by the way, I can't turn off. I can't actually mute the music in this game. It's not an option. Well, the thing is, I don't intend to have some sudden monumental change in the content, because this is what I do. And those who are here... There goes Camille. Those who are here because they enjoy what I do. So why would I make some sort of massive change there? I had always intended on stuff that would be... stuff that wouldn't have to be age-restricted. Watch my language a little bit more. Content that's not bloody or gory. Because I've noticed that, you know, technically a lot of the shooters I play, they can get a little bloody and gory. Maybe not Doom Eternal bloody and gory, but enough that somebody might find it objectionable. And as we all know right now in YouTube, is that the smaller creators are far more susceptible to pissing some rando off than the larger ones, because the larger content creators get special treatment. I mean, that's not even like a hot take, that's just the reality of YouTube right now. Maybe it'll be fixed at some point, but right now, the big creators have stuff that, you know, smaller creators have the same game footage or content up, and yet big creators, no problem. Small creators, they get flagged for something. That's a reality. So sure, lots of big names have shooters, first-person, third-person, doesn't matter, where violent and potentially grotesque imagery is a feature. They don't get flagged for it because they're big creators. You know, they're kind of raking in the revenue for YouTube. But if I were to put something like that up, yeah, I mean, if the bots don't have a problem with it, chances are that, especially if it's set for younger audiences, somebody's probably going to complain about it. And then I have to deal with that shit, and I don't want to deal with that shit, which is why I defaulted everything to age-restricted at the gate, because I wouldn't have to worry about that. But then apparently I'm hurting my promotional opportunities. I should make more family-friendly content. It's not like I'm incapable, it's just like... that's more work. That's literally all it is. That's more work. I can have fun, or I can bust my hump trying to put something together that's gonna be, you know, safe for the juniors and the kiddies, and... Because that's the thing, what I was planning, and this I was planning on doing, like, just for fun. I was gonna play Paper Mario, because, honestly, I love that game. You know, I played that a bunch. I enjoy playing it even now because Paper Mario is just fun. I like the tongue-in-cheek humor. It's extraordinarily simplistic for an RPG, but it sets out to do a thing and it does it well. I mean, what more do you want in a game? And I'm like, well, Paper Mario doesn't have violent... Well, depending on who you ask, bonking Goombas over a head with a hammer could be considered violent. Next thing you know, somebody will start complaining that maybe in Minecraft we should try communicating with the zombies instead of just hitting them with our swords. Even though they're trying to eat us, maybe this is all some big misunderstanding. But yes, I mean, at least graphically speaking, the footage in Paper Mario is not graphically violent, and it's certainly not grotesque. So a little, you know, sterilization of the dialogue, and that's fine for younger audiences. The thing was, this was before I had the idea of like, oh hey, I'm just gonna LP New Vegas. Because, like, why not? I enjoy that game a bunch. And a lot of people enjoy that game. And the thing was, I'd planned on a seasonal thing of, like, RPG, shooter, strategy game. Something along that line. So for a season, 3 months, there'd be a month of a strategy game, a month of an RPG, and a month of a shooter. In any particular order. I mean, preferably not putting things back to back. I could get an S rank if I play my cards right here, so let's try for that.
Alright, launch! Don't fall behind!
The easiest thing to do would be to do the rapid punches that the Ashramar is capable of, but some of those swings, like, don't automatically connect. Anyway,
Attack them at once!
I'm actually getting into the game instead of the topic I was talking about, which, I mean, it's fine. It's kind of one of the things I can and or am supposed to do when doing it. My point is, though, is that, again, I've been at this game for so long. Okay, they're still up top, so I'm safe. I don't even need the assault. The mission's already over. There we go.
That all you got?
Probably not an S rank, because like I said, those like run-up punches, they never connect with anything. Like, they're at air. So I don't know if that's going to count those towards the hit.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Oh no. There we go. S rank. Maybe. Yes, S rank. Cool. For posterity. Not like it matters. Yeah.
Alright, launch!
So,
Don't
yeah,
fall behind!
as I was saying, I don't know why this is... well, actually, no. I know exactly why this has turned into me giving a slice of life at the time I'm playing. It's because I've run out of things to talk about. But it's not a walkthrough, it's a Let's Play, so I have to talk about something. So what's on my mind? I'm burning out content creating, so what's on my mind is why that's happening. I'm literally offloading like one would on a vinyl chair at a therapist. I'm emotional is maybe the wrong word. I don't know, my spectrum of emotion is different from most people. Oh, boy. Okay, I can just smash this thing, and there we go. But no, I'm cathartically unwinding. Let's use that fancy word. I'm cathartically unwinding. I'm getting rid of the big tray now purely because it's going to be shooting at me the whole time, and I don't want that to be a problem, so... There we go. This is going to be a fast route. I might actually not hit the talking points that I was anticipating, which might be relief to some people. So... yeah, seasonal thing. Hit 3 genres, because I realize I'm doing shooters and, like, survival horror a lot. Like, a lot, to the point where... enough already, right? So yeah, break it up. Do an RPG. Do
All right, let's get out of
do
here.
a strategy game. Even though I'm terrible at them, I'm still terrible at them. ZKA is worried about 1v1ing me in Homeworld. I haven't spoken to him in like 2 months. Not intentional. That's another point I want to get into, but given how quickly this video is going to resolve, I'm probably going to save getting into that for the next video.
All right, we're heading out. Don't fall behind.
I mean, there's a whole Dragon Ball Z thing in, like, Fortnite right now. I'd love to have dropped into a match with him for that, but...
Let's attack them at once.
Right now, I just can't.
We'll back you up.
And that's not release schedule related. That's entirely independent from that.
You were running around the place.
I am spinning many plates at the moment. I don't care for it.
Enemy detected. Beginning my attack.
The thing is that I felt that New Vegas Lunatic really hit it off for me, like reviewing the footage, when I started to put more production value into it, when I started to edit it. And I wanted to give, like, Season 2 even more of that. But that wouldn't be possible unless I had the time set aside to do it. And the release schedule right now was such that it wouldn't allow for that. So I ended up looking for a stopgap, and I found one. The problem, of course, is the seasonal thing has been turned on its head. I'm going to have 2 months solid of shooters, and then a bunch of survival horror stuff. The very thing I was trying to avoid, like, genre typecasting into, I'm going to be doing. Because for October, it's all really up in the air right now, because it's literally what can I put out that I can manage at least 2 videos a day, if not 3. So I conceived at the time of, like, doing Parasite Eve 1 and 2, trailing that, because those would be fairly short in my mind. Those would be pretty short, with Extinction for the PS2, the North American version, because there is actually a pretty big distinction between the North American and the PAL version. The actors are different, some of the art style things were changed. The thing is, I find the PAL version's a little weird in that regard, because they're supposed to be US Marines. Why do they have, like, vaguely European accents and are dressed like SAS? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, no, 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 get away, get away. You're gonna destroy the ship. Get over the oh, God. Everything is horrible. Oh! No, no, no. Oh. Maybe if I hadn't friendly... Why doesn't recover work for the battleships? I mean, why do I even equip it if that's not going to help?
Ourselves.
Oh, this is staying in because I've been talking some heavy stuff and I don't want to have to repeat myself. Don't know what I said, what I didn't say. Okay, we need something that can, like, pinpoint target. No travel through with a cannon. Gonna be slow, but if I play my cards right, the Gundam ground type could really be a win for me here.
Mobile suit team.
Fingers
launch.
crossed. So yes, I had determined that, like, the main roll of footage for the month of October was going to be
Not
Doom
bad
3, because I've never played it. I've never played Doom 3, beyond, like, the extent that it was shown in the demo, because I did play the demo, and of course now, to avoid a problem that I had with Red Faction Armageddon, where like 3.5 hours of footage were lost, I always do a trial recording to make sure that everything is being captured the way that it's supposed to. So I got a little bit into it there, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, I haven't played Doom 3, and I'm like, oh, I get to experience that for the first time, and my viewership gets to see my first experience. Now because I'm trying to stay ahead of things, I'm partway into the recording of that. I'm not enjoying myself, to be honest. Which, I shouldn't be super surprised, you know, a lot of people didn't like Doom 3, and even those who did point out the fact that it was a low point for the franchise, you know, even comparing it to the older games.
Hit them at once.
Well, I'll say this, I really can't but agree. Granted, I also get a lot of viewer reaction when I completely lose my cool and get a little ragey at things. And I think that's mostly because people are perhaps waiting for that to happen. Because it doesn't happen often. I'm not one of these like rage presentation type of Let's Players who's big on the emotion. Oh my god, 2. And I'm friendly fire. And you're friendly firing! 4. What the Trying to protect the ship, not blow up the ship. So I was like, you know what? I'll do Red Faction, right? So Red Faction 1 goes by, and it was supposed to be just the first 2 games, and that was supposed to take up a month of footage. Because I'm on a roll with, like, new subscribers, and I didn't want to have a month's downtime, especially before, like, a big 3-video-a-day dirge that's going to burn everybody out, and I know it's going to burn everybody out.
Let's keep it going.
I'll hit them at once.
So I was like, yeah, I need something to fill that month, so... like, Red Faction. Problem is, first Red Faction was done in just 10 episodes. That's not going to cover a month. Second one was done in, like, 6. So I ended up doing Guerrilla. Well, that covered the month. But I needed footage for another month to cover me while I work on the whole October thing, which is what's been absolutely burning me out. It's been just killing me. So I basically ended up marathoning Red Faction, and it had to do with the added tedium of the fact that I had to record it, which meant that if memory was getting low, as it often does, I only have like a terabyte of memory on the drive I record onto maximum, and more than half of that is taken up by, you know, other things. So if that happens, I have to hit editing, I have to start uploading, because I need to make space, and it all just turns into this tedious mess.
What is this? What is it? It feels dangerous.
And I mean, honestly, probably the rational, logical thing to do would be, like, take the month off. Like, take the next month off. Like, just don't produce content, take a break. Because the problem is the content you produce... you're going to be, like, in a foul mood throughout. And I am, probably. I mean, Doom 3 is disappointing, but I don't think that's burnout. I think that's just because Doom 3 is disappointing. I mean, let's be real. Even the BFG, like, adaptation of the shotgun... or not the shotgun, the flashlight is kind of crap because it runs out of battery so easily, and it's honestly kind of infuriating that it's not centered on the player's perspective. It's biased to, like, the left side of the screen. Why is it like that? I mean, honestly, I am tempted to drop it and just record Doom 2016. The problem is, I actually tried that once, and the frame drop, like, the lag was so bad, it was basically unusable. Like, minutes of footage just with a frozen thing on the screen and nothing happening, because as optimized as, like, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 are, they are not fond of sharing your GPU.
This sensation is from an enemy?
And I could, like, record it directly off the graphics card, like, that's a function of NVIDIA and so forth. However, OBS has some nice audio options which allow me to compensate for the fact that if I wasn't being pumped up by like 12 decibels right now, I'd be even harder to hear in these recordings than I already am. Speaking at above room volume. So it's just not going to work.
Alright, let's get out of here.
And that's the thing, the hardware I'm working with is not powerful enough to record on both simultaneously, so I can just use whichever footage is better, or use the sound from one and the video from another. I mean, theoretically, I could do that, but... oh, I've tried. My editing software is not fun with audio mixing. It doesn't work. The sound ends up desynced. I mean, that's part of the reason why later on.
All right, we're heading out. Don't fall behind.
Later on in Resident Evil 6 Jake and Sherry's run, where I had to use EKA's audio, I am barely audible.
I found you.
That's not his fault. I mean, he didn't know that he'd have to, like, send me the audio because my recording was wrong. That's on me. But the issue is that I could have used my mic audio because I had that. It's the game audio and his speaking that I didn't have. But the trouble was when I overlaid, like, my recorded voice with the video, it would always desync from my voice recorded on his end. Even if I found a point and got it, like, right down to the millisecond, for some reason in the encoding or whatever, it would desync my voice in his recording from my voice in my recording, and the audio would go bonk. So I basically just muted my voice altogether, like my end of the audio recording, and just played his, so you can't hear me at all. So that's the thing, I pretty much have to use OBS because I don't have the time to learn to do something else. My other options do not come with the suite of tools I need to make recordings to the quality that I've been doing. But yet, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal don't play nice with it. They don't work. Because it's a very well optimized game, but it does not like sharing your GPU. So I figured Doom 3 wouldn't have that problem, because you could probably run it on a comparative potato today. Granted, I would have said the same thing about Red Faction Armageddon, and I've seen a bit of stutter there as well. And Gorilla, which I assume is related to, like, the physics. Like, all the rendering, all the objects flying around, that's most likely the culprit, but still. Because I don't want to have to, like, dumb things down to the point where it looks like you're watching a Roblox video. I mean, if it gets to that point, I might as well not even bother. And that's the problem. That's where the burnout comes in. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, but it's one of those things where, as is often the case, there is no easy magic solution that I haven't thought of, because generally, I think of most of the stuff that's practical. I'm not always right. I don't always have all the answers. But if there is no obvious solution here.
Should go back where you came from.
Because, yeah, sure. I mean, people could name other recording software I could use, but like I said, say all you want that it's easy to use. I still have to figure out, like, how to set it up,
all right,
get it all
get
working, and, oh, boy. And, of course, there's the other problem, because my OS drive has only 250 gigabytes of space. That's, like, the flash drive that's built into this thing. And the programs on it already, I have less than 4 gigabytes left on that one, so throwing in another video editing program, or another video recording program, is literally impossible. Unless I can find some way to put it on something other than the C drive. And the thing is, a lot of programs, they don't like that. And it's just one problem after another, and I'm so goddamn sick of it. Why can't it just work? I mean, isn't that our lifelong quest for technology that doesn't break down the moment you touch it? You know, having the Alan Grant problem where he just touches the thing and it just goes all weird. So yeah, I don't know what exactly is going to show up on October. I know it's going to be Doom 3 because I'm stuck with that. It might be Dead Space, because that would actually save effort. I've recorded 10 videos of that already that were never uploaded. It might not be Dead Space. Maybe the Parasite Eve thing and the Extinction thing won't even happen, because I've recorded Extinction, but I haven't even started recording on Parasite Eve. Maybe I'll play Decision Red Days, because I decided to wait for the patch after I first tried playing it, because it needed that early patch. And I just haven't gotten back around to it because again, it's too much going on, too many plates.
I'm an ally.
Let's keep it going.
We're going
Oh, that was clean. This is the thing, I have post-October plans for recording as well. That I don't want to spoil. Thing is, the post-October plans might fundamentally get shut down purely on the grounds of, like, I need time off. Like, sure, it's probably going to hurt the channel growth and so forth and so on, but at this point, it's becoming increasingly like a necessity, just something that has to happen. I mean, if I do take that month off...
Crush you.
Is that all you got?
If I do take that month off, it'll be a welcome opportunity just for me to, like, actually collect my thoughts. Because if I sound like I'm rambling and I'm losing my mind, it's only because I am.
Get out of here.
That's just the... And that's the thing, weirdly. I get more response from videos where I'm steadily going insane. Didn't we just do this? No, it's blurring together, okay? This is becoming that scene where Chris Pine talks about how their lives have become episodic. I'm getting that impression right now.
Photo shoot team, lunch.
Oh, God. You know what? I think I've earned the right, even for the fans of this game, to say it, that I'll be glad to be done with this game. It has gone on long enough.
Four, stop! Don't fight!
I have gone past the moment of enjoying it. I have gone past the moment of indifference. I'm looking forward to not having to play this anymore. Same thing happened with Decision 3. Decision 3 is not a bad game, but it wore on my patience something fierce until I just snapped at it like I'm done with this.
You're in front of me, you hot bastard!
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay, Quattro's a lot squishier.
I'm here! Open the cockpit! Get out of the Psycho Gundam! Hurry!
Who hit me?
You're not getting away!
These aliens should go back to the team.
Not yet!
Yes, I know ally hit.
What are you doing?
Ow. Oh, he's bailing. No, you don't. Oh, what? Really? Oh. This is me pissed, because that was stupid. It just didn't connect, and he flew off. And all that effort getting him low went to absolutely nothing.
Why are you in front of me? There!
Die!
He's strong! This is the end!
Camille's bailing too. Surprise, surprise. And he's gone.
I'll kill you!
Hi-ya! Oh, that connects when it's not important. Where it is literally irrelevant, the airborne attack connects. Oh boy.
Don't come near me!
All right, let's get out of here.
Now, sorted gaming shenanigans are not the only reason why I am short of temperament, but like I said, I don't think I'll have the opportunity to go in detail on that in this video. Of course, I can probably posit a TLDR. I'm not in the best of health right now. And it's not one of those, oh, I have a cold, I'm tired, not in the best of health. It's more like I tore a muscle in my shoulder, and I am in frequent agony type of not in the best of health. And nothing puts me in a bad mood quite like a constant agonizing pain. Beneficially, right now, I'm not experiencing it that much. But that's only because I'm on some, what is it, ibuprofen? Now you might be thinking, well, what's wrong with that? That's a typical over-the-counter type of thing. Yes, but to not be in agonizing pain, I'm on double the recommended dosage. Now, I'm not a slight person, so I would be above the typical dosage just by default. I also have an elevated resistance to these things, because, like, you know, ibuprofen's like a good go-to for me if it's an inflammation-related, you know, illness or whatever. Because I get those occasionally. Because before I had like a ripped shoulder or a herniated disc, I'm not sure which it is, I know it sucks. Before I had that, I had two separate instances of gout.
We're going in.
And that related to some kidney problems that I was having because of the heat wave and some dehydration. And my health has been a cavalcade of, like, unfortunate events for the past month and a half, if not 2 months. So yes, that has me in a bit of a bitter mood. And my most recent problem has me in a very bitter mood. I mean, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen later, and a sharp knife in my shoulders has turned more into like somebody standing on your shoulder if you were like leaning on a chair. A dull thrumming thing. But here I am. I am recording a Let's Play. Because I have a schedule to keep. And anybody who had to work through a personal injury on like on a job should have some sense of like what that's like. Because you're still expected to move the boxes and smile at the customer, even as every motion is abstract agony.
Is that all you got? All right, let's get out of here.
Oh, the grab row again. Sure. Why not?
All right, we're heading out. Don't fall behind.
You know, I don't usually like the ocean. I don't, because I don't swim. It's not even an issue of not knowing how to swim. I've been in pools before I sink. They tell you to, like, spread your arms apart, kick your legs around. Yeah, I did that. I still sank. I'm literally too dense. And it's not an issue of heavy. Bear in mind, I didn't say I'm too heavy. I said I'm too dense. And I found out medically when they did an x-ray that, yeah, my bones are, by percentage, a lot denser than they're supposed to be. And a lot larger than they're supposed to be. I mean, I literally have the skeleton of like a silverback. And that's why I don't swim, because you need to displace your equivalent mass in water to float, and my biology, my physiology doesn't allow for that. I literally sink in water. I mean, the only way I could float would be to like power swim upwards, which it doesn't work. So I don't like the ocean. But submarines are growing on me. I like them as a technical thing. But then again, I am a bit of like a gearhead nut, you know? Planes, cars, boats, submarines, spaceships, especially spaceships, you know, giant robots, not necessarily humanoid. I'm thinking about actually doing like an LP of Mech Assault on this channel, because I could do Mech Warrior. I mean, it'd be a huge pain, because, okay, so to close off on a lighter note than all the like my health and my channel heavy bullshit I've been on about this whole time. To close on a lighter note, a while back, like, Microsoft secured the rights for MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, and the game was distributed for a while, like, just for free. Like, you could go to a place and you could get it. And there was, like, the Mech Tech packs and so forth that people had put in, and that was also being distributed. Now, I kind of liked MechWarrior 3 a bit better. It wasn't performance-wise or content-wise as expansive, but the story was more interesting, and I like the whole mobile field-based thing. Especially because it was like a persistent mobile field-based thing. If you lost one of those, like, your support carrying capacity was cut down by a third, and the time it would take to repair your mech was increased proportionally. And it was a really good campaign, is what I'm trying to get at. The thing is, some genius at some point decided they were no longer supporting the distribution of MechWarrior 4 as a free thing. Never mind the fact that, to my knowledge, they haven't supported the distribution as a paid thing either. So you just can't get it anymore.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Thing is, I got it when it was free on my old PC a long time ago. But that copy is gone, for reasons. And the issue is that you can't get it now. Like, and furthermore, from what I understand, you're not supposed to get it either, because obviously it's the internet. Things linger on the internet. But yeah, the company responsible, I don't know if it was bought from Microsoft or if it's still them, but they basically said, like, yeah, no, it's not free anymore. Okay, but you're not selling it. It's like, yeah, but you can't have it for free either. Like, if we find somebody distributing it or so forth, regardless of monetary gain, we're shutting that shit down. So, if I wanted to play that, I'd have to find a copy of it. Because, you know what? It is abandonware. I mean, if they're not going to distribute it... Or it's not abandonware. It's like the ROM sharing websites before the console owners realized that there was still actually, like, a lot of demand for these older games. And decided to come after the emulation scene because, like, hey, they can't distribute those games, we could be making money off of them. And then suddenly something that was always, like, gray area became, oh god, something that was always gray area became, like, very, like, oh, you're not supposed to do this. Now, before anybody asks, yes, I actually own a physical hard copy of Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. I actually got it from, like, GameStop, so that's actually, like, the cliche thing of somebody trading it in. Like, it came with no instructions, and it had clearly been restored by somebody, because it has that distinctive pattern of a disc that was scratched up and had to be, like, rebuffed with wax or whatever it is they put on the disc. But yeah, I mean, the MechWarrior 4 situation is like the emulation scene situation, where it was free, and then somebody just decided that it wasn't anymore. Now, the thing is, in their case, it's a lot harder to justify, because, I mean, these companies started remaking the games with modern graphics, and they started selling them in virtual consoles and so forth. But basically, nobody's distributing MechWarrior 4, so, like, officially, nobody's distributing it. So where's the loss of monetary gain to the owners if somebody distributes it for free? Because they're not distributing it themselves. I mean, that was the reason the emulation scene was able to do what it was doing for so long, was because these games were out of circulation. The owners weren't profiting from their sales or distribution at all. So no case could be made, even though these were owned by other people, that there was like monetary losses, because there weren't. Like, you're not selling the game anymore. There's no money in it for you. So what does it matter if these guys give it away for free? Now, granted, the perspective of that has changed in the past 10 years, where now it's like, oh, it doesn't matter if we're making money on it or not. We own it, so you can... And that's really bad for preservationism as well. Because that was another big argument. My throat's getting a little hoarse. That's another argument with, like, why ROM hosting sites existed, was to keep an archive of these things. Sort of a video game way-back machine. And, I mean, in that capacity, they can still exist. They just can't distribute. Granted, what's the point of having an archive if nobody can look at it? You know, oh, look at all these books. Can we read them? No. But the point is that, like, here's MechWarrior 4, and it's like, you're not selling it, but yet you won't allow others to distribute it, because you... It just doesn't make any sense. It's fucking... It's stupid. I think that might be the first F-bomb I've dropped in this video. I was actually trying to avoid... I was trying to avoid doing it at all, just to see if I could, like, weather that storm, but no, well, now the floodgates are open. Fucking goddamn it.
Let's attack them at once!
I mean, I don't know, this is probably one of the most successful series on this channel, maybe because it's not being done daily, so it's not burning out my viewers. Hey, there's a concept. I could do, like, a different game every day, and each game has its own day of the week. Avoid burning people out. I mean, I'd like, test the waters to see if that's what people want, but I get so few comments, I'd never know. I'd have to just try it and see how people respond, but by then the damage is already done. If it's done, I mean, who knows? I mean, oh god, it's like the Wild West, it's the new frontier! I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm on the verge of insanity. God, that would be a nightmare, though. I think I know why I probably wouldn't do it that way. Because think about it. I'd have to have 5 different LPs going at once. I'd have to be creating content for 5 different things. Granted, I'd be creating content for them slowly, because I'd only be putting out 1 video a week, but oh my god, I can feel, I sense a disturbance in the LP force that would be just a huge inconvenience. Because I kind of like just going through a game and being done with it. Taking a break probably halfway through to make sure I don't completely lose my mind. Which is why I like having this stuff done like a month in advance, so that I'm not in a position where it's like I have to record this, whether or not it's going to destroy my soul to do so, because tomorrow the viewers following it are expecting a video. Besides, who does that? Who runs like 5 to 7 LPs simultaneously and releases a different one every day? I don't know. It's a big internet. It's a big world. Somebody's probably done it that I've just never heard of. I'm tired. I have a headache. And I'm not making excuses. You know, I've noticed a dip in my video quality, and I am sorry for that. I'm just trying to contextualize why it's happening. I'm not getting lazy about it. That sounded like an excuse. Okay, so maybe I am making excuses. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe my words should be taken with a grain of salt.
Mobile suit team, launch!
God. I feel... No, God, in my head, I just pictured the whole, like, Robert Downey Jr. breakdown near the end of Tropic Thunder, where, like, Ben Stiller, his character says the thing to him, like, maybe you're a dude who doesn't know what sort of dude he is, and so he has to play the other... And he finally breaks character and, like, becomes the Aussie actor guy again. It's just... I'm having that moment where it's just like, you know... He's right, man. I mean, I really don't know what I'm talking. I can't do an Australian accent. I shouldn't even try. I mean, I think I could do an Australian accent as the sniper, but that's not what the character sounded like. So I'd be wrong in one extreme or the other. Oh, and you know the funny part, the tragic-ironic part to all of this.
This is the end.
After I'm done recording this, I'm recording the episode for tomorrow.
This is the end.
Or, well, no, not tomorrow from when I'm recording. That's what this episode is. Tomorrow from when you're watching this. I'm going to be recording that right after this. And tomorrow, I'm going to be recording the ones for the next weekend, so I don't have to worry about that. Which means that as exhausted as I am, just physically as a human being, and frustrated with so many things, I labor on. God, why though? Why? I don't know why. I don't know, I'm overly... Well, I can't even say I'm overly enthusiastic about my hobby, because I keep talking about how this is frustrating the hell out of me. Does that sound like enthusiasm? It sounds more like commitment, the kind of commitment that a crazy person would have. Well, now everything makes sense, doesn't it? Eyes wide, big toothy grin, fucking, like, Joker. Oh, God. Well, at least I gave myself a smile with that one. You know, sometimes you have to turn into the skid. Oh, I'm that tired. I've reached like giggles tired. You know, when you're so exhausted, you just start giggling to yourself. Suddenly, everything's funny. Everything's a joke.
All right, let's get out of here.
Honestly, I covered most of my health issues in this video where I said I wouldn't have time. What am I going to talk about next time? I don't know, but I'll have to figure it out in the next 5 minutes. Buran's command skills. Are we sure it wasn't his mutton chops? Because I don't know. I think those mutton chops got him rank. You know, guys who were just deciding on who to promote were just like, damn, he's ballsy wearing those mutton chops. Give him another rank. Make him an officer. It was Buran with the mutton chops, right? I don't know. I can't tell in his pilot helmet. I could check the character profile, but I'm not going that far. I'd have to quit out, save, check it, reload. I'm not doing that. I'm not.